right, what's going on, y'all? Today I'm going to answer one of the most popular questions I get, and that's what's the best training split for hybrid athletes? You know, training for endurance while also training strength training. That can be, you know, bodybuilding with endurance running. That can be, you know, training for a triathlon while also doing powerlifting. It's essentially just endurance training with strength training. What's the most efficient and best weekly training split out there? So, you know, how do you set up your Mondays, Tuesdays, all the way through Sunday to essentially allow you to perform your best in both your strength training, your endurance training, and allow you to actually recover in time. So I actually have two training splits for you today. These are ones that I've come up with over time. These are my favorite training splits. You know, one is going to be perfect if you're kind of crunched on time. You only have time for one workout per day, whether that be endurance or strength. And then the other one's going to be perfect for those of you that you know, might have a little bit more training time that you can allot. So, you know, you might be able to do a couple 2 days during the week. That's going to be perfect for you. Both of these are going to be perfect if you want to train for, you know, 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, all the way up to ultra marathons. It just, you know, it's going to vary, you know, what type of weekly mileage you're actually putting in there. Now, a big caveat I want to say before I give you these two training splits, you do need to make sure you're locking in your balance between volume and intensity. I've talked about this in many other videos, but especially for hybrid athletes, you've got to find the balance between your training intensity and your training volume. This is where I suggest doing high intensity bodybuilding, or, you know, with your lifting, making sure that's where you're really putting a lot of intensity in there, keeping the volume on the lower side and keeping the volume for your endurance training, keeping the volume for out on the road. When I was doing ultra marathons and really, you know, putting a lot of focus at the same time on bodybuilding, you know, this is where I've had the most success. You know, be able to have a lot of strength in the gym, you know, keep a lot of muscle mass while also performing well on the endurance side. You've got to lock in the intensity and the volume. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. The first training split I'm going to give y'all is the one that's going to be perfect if you only have time for one workout per day. All right, so if you only have time for one workout per day, whether that be endurance or strength training, this is how I would set it up. So your day one, and this can be, you know, whenever you're going to start your training week, whether that's on a Monday, a Sunday, whatever. Day one's going to be an upper body lift. Day two is going to be a run. Day three is going to be a lower body lift, so hitting legs. Day four is going to be a run. Day five is going to be another upper body lift. Day six is going to be your long run or your long endurance training session. And then day seven is a full rest day. So this is essentially built off of an upper lower body part split. And then within this, you've got 3 runs per week. So you essentially have 3 strength training sessions per week, and then you've got 3 endurance sessions. You know, if you guys are training for a triathlon or something other than just specifically running, obviously go ahead and you know, put that in there. You know, instead of just doing a run for 3 times per week, you know, you might want to do a bike or a swim or all of that. But it's essentially 3 sessions for the cardio, and then 3 sessions for the strength training. What this is going to allow you to do, you're going to have 2 upper body sessions. So you're going to have, you know, the ability to really hold a lot of strength and size, especially on your upper body, by hitting it, you know, twice a week. That's going to be plenty of time. As long as you've got the intensity right in the gym, you're going to have plenty of volume on the strength training side to really have a good bit of strength and muscle mass up top. Now on the lower side, your lower body, you're only hitting that once per week, but that's still going to be plenty if you do have the intensity in place there to really hold you know, a good bit of muscle mass. And, you know, what's really going to do is prevent you having injuries the further you go along with endurance training. You know, if you're doing, you know, marathon training or especially ultra marathon training, that's where a lot of times you have a lot of structural imbalances, muscle imbalances come into place. And keeping, you know, some squats in there, keeping your lower body training, that's going to prevent a lot of injuries. Back when I was doing just ultra marathon training and wasn't doing any strength training, I had so many more niggles and nagging injuries than I did when I was really making sure I was very consistent hitting lower body. But this is my favorite split for only having 1 training session per day. It's a very simple split, but if you structure your intensity and your volume right, it will get you to your goal. You're just going to have to vary your mileage. You know, if you're doing, you know, marathon training and you've got to get, you know, 35 plus miles per week, you're going to go ahead and have to structure your runs to allow you to do that. But this is where this leads into the second training split. This is my all-time favorite hybrid training split, and this is set up with a couple 2 days in there. But this will allow you to really train for those longer distance races and be still nailing down your strength training goals. All right, so my all-time favorite hybrid training split This one's going to have a couple 2 days. Day 1 is going to start off with a run. And then in the evening, your second training session is going to be a push day. Day 2 is going to be a run. And then in the afternoon or evening, it's going to be pull day. Day 3, you're going to just do legs. So just a lower body workout, no run in there. Day 4 is just going to be a run, no strength training. Day 5 is going to be an upper body session, no run. Day 6 is going to be a long run, and day 7 is going to be a rest. So in here, we've got only two a days per week, and that's set up early in the week, further away from the long run. But this is now having 4 strength training sessions, and you've got 4 endurance training sessions. So this one is going to up your training sessions, but this is going to allow you to nail down the goals of both a little bit more efficiently. Essentially, you're going to have a push and a pull day. So that's really going to be honing in on, especially if you're bodybuilding, this is going to be honing in on making sure you're hitting those body parts as effectively, efficiently, and enough to really grow. But on the run side, this is giving you enough runs per week that you can really have a lot more mileage. Now, in both splits, I do like running after a leg day, not on the day itself. And this is something I get asked. I don't ever run on a leg day. So, if I've got a leg day that afternoon, I'm not running that morning. And, the next day, it actually has been shown if you do a run, especially even a longer run, the day after a leg day, this is going to be mimicking leg fatigue, if you were out doing an ultra. So, don't be afraid to run on tired legs. If you've just gone and done, some really heavy squats or deadlifts or leg press or something, and you're beat up lower body, as long as you're not injured or anything like that and you're recovering, don't be afraid to run on those sore, tired legs, because that will actually help you become a more resilient hybrid athlete. But these are my 2 favorite hybrid training splits. These are ones that I've come up with over the last couple of years, and I absolutely think these are some of the more efficient. You can actually go with, doing more 2 days. You can do a lot more than this. But I would say for 90% of people out there, this is going to be more conducive to more of the training styles out there. If you've got, to where you work from home and you can allot, more 2 days per week, you might want to go ahead and do that and do more of just a push-pull leg split and not have that upper body session later in the week. But what that allows you to do is you've got a push and a pull day early in the week. Later in the week, you still have an upper body session coming and touching everything for a second time that week. And that's really going to set you up for success on the strength training side. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any comments or questions down below. Be happy, be positive, be powerful. Have a great rest of your day.